Hey guys, Ryan here. In today's video, I'm going to cover one of the easiest ways to counter aim assist and actually win gunfights against controller players, including people like myself. I use aim assist a ton, I know how strong it is, and that's the whole purpose of this video. The very first thing we're going to cover is horizontal movement is king. In the background right now, you're going to see an example of vertical movement where I drop shot and that's taking advantage of the vertical axis, and I'm going to talk about that later. But for right now, the main thing I want to talk about is how horizontal movement, things like a slide cancel into a jump shot, bunny hops, all of those things, that's the core way to break aim assist. One thing I want to clarify is what I mean by the phrase break aim assist. To me, this means when you force a controller player to rely on actual aiming and actual moving of their right stick and not just using aim assist. I know this seems like a kind of easy, simple definition, but you'll understand what I mean. When you watch my gameplay, watch how I'm always moving side to side. I'm always slide canceling, I'm jump shotting, I'm doing whatever I can to force the controller player I'm probably playing against, even though some of them might be mouse and keyboard, I'm forcing them to have to actually track me. Aim assist is not going to track me when I'm doing those movements. It may help a little bit, it may get them a couple shots to land on me, but it's not going to win the gunfight for them. And that's the whole purpose of those movements. And realistically, movement like this isn't going to just be effective on controller players, it's also going to be super effective on mouse and keyboard players, and that's why it's also very important. So moving on from there, we're going to talk about vertical movements. If you remember back to that drop shotting clip I had at the beginning, this is what I was talking about. With things like drop shotting and snaking primarily, they are a key tool to actually countering aim assist. By taking advantage of the whole vertical factor, you can counter their aim assist. Because when you drop to the ground like that, it's not going to track you. When you're constantly snaking up and down behind cover, their aim assist isn't going to win the gunfight for them. I can guarantee that. There's really three main movements that are going to be super effective. One is going to be the drop shot, second is going to be snaking, and the third is going to be the crab walk. I've made a video on all of these recently. I made a video on all of these on my channel in the past as well. But the whole point I'm trying to get across is if you consistently want to beat controller players and you think aim assist is overpowered, which I do think it is and I use controller, then you probably want to learn these movements because this is directly how you counter. Some of these movements though, it's not going to matter when you face a good controller player, and you have to realize that. When you face someone who is actually good at aiming, then you have to be positioned well. You have to also just be hitting your shots and playing smart. And you have to understand that good players, good controller players, they get the benefit of aim assist. They probably have good movement, and they're also probably just good at aiming with their right stick in general, and aim assist just makes it easier. And that leads me into the third thing I'm going to cover, and that's that head glitches and height win gunfights. This is pretty simple. I kind of talked about it with the whole good player thing. But good positioning and actually using head glitches and height advantage is going to make it almost impossible for controller players to actually get aim assist on you, and it's going to be a lifesaver. If you don't know what a head glitch is, it's essentially just cover that only shows your head on your enemy screen, but on your screen you can see pretty much everything, and it's ridiculously broken. Because in Call of Duty you actually aim from the perspective of your head, that means you can be on cover that only shows your head and be able to aim and shoot fine. And as you can imagine, if you pair this using a head glitch with snaking or the crab walk, you're going to be able to actually essentially break your opponent's aim assist and make it almost impossible for them to aim on you if they're not just using good aim techniques. If they have good centering and they're a good sniper or something like that, they're going to win the gunfight, I guess, if you're not hitting your shots. But for most average controller players, this is an easy way to counter them and something I wish more people realized. If you just seriously think about it, aim assist can only proc on what your opponent can see. So if almost all of your body is covered behind cover, then how are they going to get that much aim assist? They may get a little on your head if they're actually good at aiming and based on how far away they are, but for the most part, they're not going to get that much aim assist. And this is what people have to realize. When you combine things like that, you combine things like the horizontal movement thing I talked about, and then you combine things like drop shotting, snaking, all whatever, the whole combo, you're just going to end up actually beating controller players more than you realize. In here, I know this guy's there because the UAV says he's below. It showed him in the corner. So watch what I do. I know he's probably a controller player. I'm going to slide cancel and jump shot the other way. He's going to hit one or two shots. Because I'm aware that most of my opponents are actually on controller, because the vast majority of Call of Duty players are, I mainly play to counter those people. So what I do is I get in their face, I play aggressively, and I try and beat them by breaking their aim assist. And this is how I counter controller players. If aim assist gets nerfed, guys, all it's going to do is it's going to make good controller players win more gunfights. It's going to make it even better for mouse and keyboard players, and it's going to be better for the overall Warzone population. The last thing I'm going to touch on, and I'm going to touch on it briefly, is the best way to counter people who are hitting more shots on you is to just learn to hit as many shots and to become more accurate as a player. Really focus on your aiming fundamentals. Focus on your centering, your ability to track people accurately, and really overall focus on just being better at aiming. I know it sounds simple, I know that sounds easy, blah blah blah, but it's true, guys. However, I do admit for mouse and keyboard users, it's not that simple, and the game's made a lot harder simply because of the input device they use. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this nice little 21 kill solo game I had. I've really been enjoying solos recently. I don't know why. I haven't been playing them too much overall, but I've really been enjoying them recently. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a good day. It's been Ryan. Peace.